There is one document the Catholic Church tried to erase from history. Not hide, erase completely. They burned every copy they could find. They threatened prison for anyone caught holding it. They declared it heresy. But one copy survived. And this document reveals something disturbing about how the Church controls what you know about history. Because this is not a minor theological dispute. This is about power. This is about the foundation of papal authority, and this is about what happens when someone exposes a lie that has been told for centuries. The document is called the Constitutum Constantini, known in English as the Donation of Constantine. For hundreds of years, the Church presented it as an authentic 4th century text. According to this document, the Roman Emperor Constantine gave Pope Sylvester the first complete control over the entire Western Roman Empire, not just spiritual authority, actual political control, lands, armies, treasures. The document claimed Constantine was cured of leprosy by the Pope, and in gratitude, he handed over Rome itself. This was not a symbolic gesture. This was the legal foundation for papal power over kings and emperors for nearly 1,000 years. Think about what this document meant. For centuries, popes used it to crown kings, to depose rulers, to claim authority over entire nations. Whenever a king challenged papal power, the Church would point to this document and say, Constantine himself gave us this authority. No ruler could argue with a direct grant from the greatest Roman emperor. This document gave the Church exactly what it needed, a historical justification for political power, not based on faith, but on law and history. And that made it untouchable until one man touched it anyway. In the 15th century, an Italian humanist named Lorenzo Valla decided to do something extremely dangerous. He did not question the document. He proved it was fake. Valla analyzed the Latin carefully, word by word, phrase by phrase, and what he found was devastating. The language did not belong to the 4th century. It belonged to the 8th or 9th. The document used terms that did not exist in Constantine's time. It described feudal concepts that would not appear for hundreds of years. It referenced political structures that had not yet been invented. The forgery was undeniable. Valla's analysis was meticulous and impossible to refute, and with that, the most important legal document in Church history collapsed. The Church responded immediately and brutally. Every copy of Valla's work that could be found was outlawed. Anyone caught possessing it faced trial by the Inquisition. The Church did not debate him. It did not counter his arguments. It acted as if raising the question itself was a crime. Because if the donation of Constantine was a forgery, then every crown the Pope had granted, every ruler the Pope had deposed, every war fought under papal authority was built on a lie. The implications were catastrophic. For more than a century, the Church launched a systematic campaign to destroy all evidence of Valla's work. Printing houses were shut down, manuscripts were seized from libraries, even indirect references were censored. This was not suppression. This was an attempt to rewrite history itself. The goal was simple: to create a future where no one even knew the question had been asked. Because if you control what people know happened, you control what they believe is true. But one copy survived, not in a monastery, not in a royal library, in the private hands of a German clergyman named Nicholas of Cusa. Cusa was not a rebel. He was a cardinal of the Church, a man of enormous influence. He understood exactly what the document meant, and he understood that one day the truth would need to surface. So he hid the copy, passed it quietly, and made sure it would not disappear. If the Church had discovered this, even his position would not have saved him, but he did it anyway. When the Protestant Reformation exploded in the 16th century, this single surviving copy became a weapon. Martin Luther and others use Vala's proof to challenge papal authority, and they asked a question that shook Europe. If the church forged one document, what else did it forge? Suddenly, every claim became suspect, every tradition questionable, every doctrine open to scrutiny, all because of one exposed forgery. And here is the part the church never wanted discussed. This was not just about political power, it was about control over belief itself. Because if the donation of Constantine was fake, then the church took authority it never truly had, built an empire on a fabricated foundation, and used it knowingly. Modern research uncovered something even more disturbing. Senior church officials suspected the forgery as early as the 11th century. Internal letters raised doubts. Questions were asked behind closed doors, but publicly, nothing changed. Why? Because the power it granted was too valuable to abandon, even if it was false. So the church kept using it for another 400 years. And notice how the church responded when exposed. Not with scholarship, not with transparency, with force. Because institutions confident in truth argue, institutions protecting lies suppress. When the church finally admitted the forgery in the 18th century, there was no apology, no explanation, no accountability, just silence and the hope that history would forget. But history does not forget, because one copy survived, and one copy was enough to undermine an entire system. This is not an isolated case. It is a pattern. Forged decretals, altered records, destroyed archives. Again and again, control of information mattered more than truth. And that is why this still matters today, because when authority is challenged, the response is not dialogue, it is suppression. That pattern did not end in the Middle Ages. Today, the Vatican holds one of the largest private archives in the world, millions of documents, most never seen by independent scholars. They say it is about preservation, but history suggests another reason. One forged document shaped Europe for 1,000 years. One scholar exposed it, one conscience preserved it, and that changed everything. So here is the real question. If this document was forged and protected for centuries, how many others are still hidden? And how many truths are waiting for someone brave enough to bring them into the light?